Imagine you just finished a UX study and you're staring at the results. A long list of task completion times for users interacting with your product. One user breezed through in under 2 minutes, one user took 5, another took 10, and so on. How do you summarize all these different times into something that makes sense? How do you describe the typical user experience? That's where measures of central tendency come in. A measure of central tendency is a single value that represents the center or typical value of a set of data. There are 3 main measures of central tendency, and they'll probably sound really familiar. They're the mean, median, and mode. The process of deciding whether to use the mean, median, or mode isn't always simple or straightforward, because it really depends on the specific characteristics of your data. It requires you to think about factors like outliers, the distribution of your data, and whether you're working with numerical or categorical data. In this video, I'll give you a refresher of what these measures are and share a few tips to consider when choosing which one to use. Let's start off with the mean. Fun fact, there are actually several different types of means, but the one people know best is the arithmetic mean, which is the average value of your set of data. To calculate the arithmetic mean, add up all the values in your data set and then divide that total by the number of values. So for example, you could use the arithmetic mean to find things like the average task completion time. If 4 users took between 2 minutes to 10 minutes to finish a task, I would add up all of those values to get 25. Then I would divide 25 by the number of values, which is 4. 25 divided by 4 indicates that the arithmetic mean is 6.25 minutes. But here's the catch. The mean is sensitive to outliers. If even one of your users got distracted and took 100 minutes to complete the task, the mean would go up to 25 minutes, which makes it look like everyone took way longer than they actually did. This is why the mean may not always be your best option when your data has outliers. It can get thrown off by extreme values. Even a single outlier can disproportionately influence the result, especially with small samples. Now let's talk about the median. The median represents the middle value in your set of data when the numbers are ordered. To calculate the median, first arrange your data values in order from smallest to largest. Then, if there is an odd number of values, the median is the middle value. If there is an even number of values, the median is the average of the 2 middle values. One important characteristic about the median is that it is less affected by outliers than the mean. Let's go back to our example of task completion times. Even though one user took 100 minutes, the median is still 8 minutes. This gives you a more realistic idea of the typical user experience, without letting that 100-minute outlier skew the results. And then finally, we have the mode. The mode is the most frequently occurring value in your range of data. While it's less commonly used in quantitative UX metrics, the mode can be useful for analyzing categorical variables. Categorical variables refer to variables that represent distinct groups or categories, rather than numerical values. An example of a categorical variable is browser type, where the categories are Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. You could use the mode to figure out things like the most common device preferences for accessing your website. If most users accessed your website via mobile, the mode tells you that that was the most popular choice, making it clear which platform you need to optimize for. So what's the takeaway here? The measure of central tendency you choose, mean, median, or mode, depends on your data and the story you want to tell. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, so it's important to be thoughtful and flexible when interpreting your results. Here are some key tips to think about. 1. Be cautious of using the arithmetic mean when your data has outliers, and especially when your sample size is small. 2. Consider using the median when you have outliers but still want to capture the typical user experience. And 3. Use the mode when you're dealing with categorical data and want to know the most common response. Each of these measures has the potential to give you valuable insights that can guide your UX decisions.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, indiangroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offers live, hands-on UX training.